be upstanding for the entrance of your bride. Now we're ready. This place in which we are now met has been duly sanctioned according to law for the celebration of marriages, and you are gathered here to witness the joining in matrimony of Marvin Mohammed Sahebjam and Daniella Ibbotson. If there is any person here today who knows of any lawful impediment to this marriage, they should declare it now. Okay. Before you're joined in matrimony, I have to remind you of the solemn and binding character of the vows you are about to make. Marriage in this country is the union of two people voluntarily entered into for life to the exclusion of all others. Now, I am going to ask each of you in turn to declare that you do not know of any lawful reason why you should not be married to each other. So please repeat after me, starting with you, Marvin. I do solemnly declare
I do solemnly declare
that I know not
of
any lawful impediment why I, Marvin Mohammed Sahebjam, may not be joined in matrimony to Daniella Ibbotson. Thank you. And now, Daniella. I do solemnly declare that I know not of any lawful impediment why I, Daniella Ibbotson, may not be joined in matrimony to Marvin Mohammed Sahebjam. Thank you. Marvin and Daniella wish to marry, for in each other's company they have found fulfillment and love. As a consequence of this love, they have drawn closer to each other and now wish to affirm publicly their relationship and to offer each other the security that comes from vows sincerely made and faithfully kept. We will now have a reading. If Caitlin would like to come forward, please.
The lady's got the thing.
The toothpaste has the lid on, and it always shuts the door. She's very clean and tidy, though she may sometimes delude. Leave your things out at your peril, in a second they'll be moved. He's a very active person, at all his next of kin, whereas she likes lazy days, he'll still drag her to the gym. He romances her and dines her, home-cooked dinners and the like. He even knows her favourite food and spoils her day and night. She's thoughtful when he looks at her, a smile upon his face. Will he look that good in 50 years when his century night in place? He says he loves her figure, and her mental prowess too, but when gravity takes her over, will she shine with her IQ? She says she loves his kindness, and his patience is a must. And of course she thinks he's handsome, which in her eyes is a plus. They're both not wholly perfect, but who are we to judge? He can be pig-headed, whereas she won't even budge. All that said and done, they love the time they spend together. And I hope, as I'm sure you do, that this fine day will last forever. He'll be more than just her husband, he'll also be a friend. And she'll be more than just his wife, she'll be a soulmate till the end.
Thank you, Caitlin.
Well done, Caitlin. That was very good. Marriage must be entered into freely, voluntarily, and with the full and unreserved consent of you both. Therefore, do you, Marvin, take Daniella here present to be your lawful wedded wife?
I do.
And do you,
I do.
Daniella, take Marvin here present to be your lawful wedded husband?
I do.
Thank you. Well, now the solemn moment has come for Marvin and Daniella to make the contract of their marriage before you, their witnesses. Will you all please stand if you are able? Starting with you, please, Marvin. I call upon these persons here present to witness that I, Marvin Mohammed Sahebjam, do take thee, Daniella Ibbotson, to be my lawful wedded wife. Thank you. And now, Daniella, I call upon these persons here present to witness that I, Daniella Ibbotson, do take thee, Marvin Mohammed Sahebjam, to be my lawful wedded husband. Yeah. Now Marvin and Daniella will repeat some very special words they have chosen, and once again starting with you, Marvin. Daniella, I promise to love and care for you. And to be faithful to you always.
to you always. Why am I stuttering at that?
May we look to our future together.
Sorry, say again.
May we look to our future together. With hope, happiness and joy. And remembering this day. Never allow anything to change the feelings. Never allow anything to change the feelings that we share for each other. I will be loving, faithful and loyal from this day forward. Thank you. And now, Daniella. Marvin, I promise to love and care for you. And to be faithful to you always. May we look to our future together. With hope, happiness and joy. And remembering this day. Never allow anything to change the feelings. That we share for each other. I will be loving, faithful and loyal. From this day forward. Thank you. Please be seated, everyone. We now come to the giving of the wedding rings. This is the traditional and ancient way of sealing the contract you have made, and is the outward sign of the lifelong promises that you have made to each other. So, James, if you would like to come forward, please. If you would like to pass Daniella's ring to Marvin. Thank you. And if you'd like to place that ring on the third finger of Daniella's left hand, and repeat these words, please. Daniella, I give you this ring
Daniella, I give you this ring
as a token
as a token
of our marriage
of our marriage
and as a symbol
and as a symbol
of all that we share.
of all that we share.
I'd like to pop it on now, please.
Okay.
Lovely. And now, James, if you would like to pass Marvin's ring to Daniella. Thank you. Third finger of the left hand. And repeat these words, please, Daniella. Marvin, I give you this ring
Marvin, I give you this ring
as a token
as a token
of our marriage
of our marriage
and as a symbol
and as a
of
symbol
all that we share.
of all that we share.
Thank you. It's not going anywhere. The purpose of marriage is that you may always love, care for, and support each other through all the joys and sorrows of life, and that love may be fulfilled in a relationship of permanent and continuing commitment. And we trust that these things may come true for you both. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are able, would you all please stand? Marvin and Daniella, you have both made the declarations prescribed by law, and you have made a solemn and binding contract with each other in the presence of your witnesses, family and friends gathered here in your honour this afternoon. It is my privilege and very great pleasure to tell you that you are now legally married, husband and wife. Congratulations, you may kiss your wife. Ladies and gentlemen, we are very shortly going to have the signing of the register. May I remind you not to take any photographs at this stage, but please be seated.
No more, no more.
Marvin, she has to stand by you. You've got microwave.
Right. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm very proud and honoured to be the mother of this beautiful bride here today. I have something very special that no one else in the world does. I have a mother-daughter bond with the bride and feel so blessed every day that Daniella is one of my daughters. A wedding is a very special day, but but any day that you're surrounded by family and friends that love you, well, that's the best kind of day. More than 3 decades ago, I held a precious little girl in my arms. I could never imagine the beautiful and amazing woman she would become. And for the record, she has fulfilled all my hopes and dreams, and I am so proud of this beautiful bride sitting here before you all today. Daniella is so beautiful in the outside, as is plain to see, but if possible, so much more beautiful on the inside, and so much love to give, which is evident in her 2 beautiful children, Lily and Scarlett. I could never have been sure if Daniella... I could never have been sure if Daniella would get married. All I knew is if she did, that she would find someone that would appreciate her and love her to do who she is. And I'm so pleased that she found Marvin, who is everything that I hoped for and more, although he's a little hairier than expected. Marvin, I'm so pleased to welcome you to the family, but be honest, you've already been part of it for so long. I feel privileged to have Marvin as my son-in-law, and for all the Sahebjan family being part of my family also. Marvin is so strong, focused, caring and wonderful father to my granddaughters Lily and Scarlett, very down to earth and easy to talk to, although I'm not always sure he listens. Isn't that true? But the thing I have most about Marvin is he allows Daniella to be who she is, and he loves her for who she is. And oh, the fact that he always makes me my favourite roasted peanuts and brings me sour sweets. He knows what I'm talking about. And whilst I do believe everyone should be responsible for their own happiness, Marvin has an infectious way of making people he comes across feel better about themselves and lift their spirits, a really wonderful and natural quality. Marvin is also an ideas man who has goals to strive towards, now successfully running his own business and new goals for the future. I don't think it's reaching these goals that we are all love about you, but the commitment and desire to achieve them. And more important, when you have taken this journey in equal partnership with your wife, Marvin also pulls his weight and the housework, having a passion for cooking and ironing. Daniella, my beautiful daughter, I have seen you grow and seen you seen you shine, but since you have met Marvin, you seem to shine much brighter. And on that note, I would like us please to stand. Daniella and Marvin, I hope all your desires and dreams come true, because I truly love you both so much. It can be a big scary world out there, but together you can make it by storm. Ladies and gentlemen, please raise your glasses to toast the bride and groom.
My turn. Have you got a few hours? So, that is going to be very, very, very difficult to follow. Thank you, Marilla, from the bottom of our hearts. I'm trying to hold it back now, so... Wow, I wasn't expecting that. Thank you very much. I am, yeah. So, thank you very, very much. Now... So, I spent quite a few hours before you all came, about 2 to be precise, working on this speech. But now that I'm married, I don't need this anymore, and I've got this one to talk to. So I've said, thank you again, Marilla, that was amazing. Wasn't expecting it, I thought Andrew was going to do it, but wow, just amazing, thank you so much. My wife and I knew that getting married would be an amazing chapter in our lives, and we looked forward to this day since I got cramp and went down, and then one of the kids' toy rings fell out, and then she thought it was a proposal, and by that point it just, I just went with the flow. So the day itself has only been this brilliant because nearly all the people we love and care about are here to share it with us. So we'd like to thank you all from the bottom of our hearts for being here with us today. Now, try and spare your drinks. There are... One sec, yes. There are 5 toasts from me, so drink sparingly. Fran? I know you like Prosecco. It's... Very good. Right, and I apologise for reading from a tablet, but let's face it, after this morning's shambles, I don't want to mess anything up again. Right, so toast number 1. This is by far going to be the hardest one, so bear with me. So this is to absent friends and family. So this toast is to the people that are not with us today. Now, 2 very special people who I regret not having the pleasure to meet. Daniella's nonno, which is Italian for granddad, and nonna, which is Italian for grandma. From the stories the family have told me and the fond memories my wife has shared, I'm honoured to be part of their family. I know that if they were here today, they would be so proud of Daniella in being a beautiful bride. Can't speak, I'm shaking. Strong, independent woman, a loving mother, and keeping the stubborn Italian-Polish fire burning. The last mention is to my dad. For those of you that don't know my dad, he died in 2007 when I was just 22, and without the guidance of my groomsmen and everybody else pretty much in this room, I don't think I'd be here and the man that I am today. So I wish he was here to see this. And he's actually on the end of the table. Now there's a really nice picture of him in all suited and booted, and there's a picture of him reading his paper in his pyjamas. Now, the reason why that one is there is because it's our fondest memory of him. And one funny story is that my dad used to like going into Morrison's to read the paper. Now, why pay for a paper when you can stand in the aisle and just read it? So people would often go past him and say, "Oh, how you doing, Mahmood? How's it going?" And he'd be like, yeah, and he'd have his glasses on, he'd look up, and he'd be carrying on reading Financial Times or whatever, his Iranian papers. And it was so funny. So, the paper section got moved to the front where all the doors are. And he was reading his paper one day, and he looked up and his trolley had gone. And he was so shocked that someone had the audacity to nick his trolley with shopping in while he was reading the paper, that he was going on about it for months and months and months. He just could not let it down. And that's one of my favourite stories from Dad. I'm sure a few people know others, but he was a character. It's where I got our personalities from, and the Sebjam loving and giving, kind people that we are. So that's to my dad. So, if you could all you don't have to clink or anything, because I know it's annoying when you're about to sip and someone goes, "Oh, clink me." All right, so that. Just raise a glass to absent friends and family. Okay, so toast number 2, the parents. Right, so sadly my parents are no longer with us, but I didn't get this far through life with just Matthew, Marcus, Wayne, and James. We need to thank James's mum and dad, Julie and Arthur, for taking me in as the son that they're glad they never had. And for loving Daniella and our girls like their own. We are truly grateful for all the help with the wedding. Thank you very much. We have a little gift for you. This is to Julie. Sorry, Arthur, you just have to stand there and look nice. Okay, so we've got some flowers for Julie. So, thank you. And I'm joking, Arthur. Of course, we've got you a gift, and I just need to find the one that says your name on it. Sit. It's okay. James. Okay, so thank you very much from the bottom of our hearts. Thank you. Okay, now, Andy and Marilla. So a special thank you to Marilla for raising such a beautiful, beautiful wife and keeping me on my toes and kicking me up the backside from time to time. I'm sure she gets that from you. Got something in my throat. She's an amazing woman. Thank you. Now, thank you for accepting me into the family and making me feel always welcome. Thank you for putting up with my mood swings and massive appetite, as I'm sure I've eaten you out of house and home on more than one occasion. We would like to thank you both for everything, all the times we've asked you to watch our children so we could have meetings, to organise the wedding, and just have some time to be, well, now husband and wife. Please don't stop taking our kids off us. Okay. We are lucky to have such amazing parents, and on that note, we'd like to give you a gift as well. So, Andy, yep. Thanks. I've done the hard job. I'm talking. Thank you. Okay, guys. So please raise a glass to the parents. To the parents. Hey, that was better. All right, we're warming up. Okay, thank you. Toast number 3. So, the groomsmen. Okay, right, gentlemen, you all brush up quite nicely. Thank you all for making the effort. And thank you all for not phoning sick today. So, you are all very handsome. We want to thank you for helping out today, for coming around yesterday and enjoying some Persian food, eating way too much and leaving our house a state. I thoroughly enjoyed cleaning up after you all. No, jokes aside, I felt really calm and happy, and I really enjoyed yesterday, thank you. James, my best man, my best friend for about 15 years. Damn, we're old. Okay, thank you for paying for the stag do and allowing us to pay you back. The Royal Bank of James is much appreciated. I had an amazing time, and it was exactly what I wanted. An opportunity to chill and get some sunshine and get some boys' time. Matthew, Marcus, and Wayne, thank you. We love you so much. Thank you for all your help today. Marcus, especially for occupying the kids while Scarlett was screaming while we was taking photos. Charlie, thank you for not losing the rings down the aisle. He's there. All right. Thank you. Yay. Okay. Elliot and Lucas, thank you. You're just such a joy to have, and you look so amazing and grown up. We're so proud. Thank you. And let's be honest, no words can describe how cute Theo looks in his little dicky bow and his like waistcoat. Love you, Theo. Thank you as well. Right, sorry, we just need to give gifts as well, so my wife and I will be around. Bear with us. Oh, you could come actually, that'd be great. Thanks. Matthew? Yeah, as you can tell, this is really well organised. Okay. Thank you. Wayne and James. That's a lovely little shuffle, thanks. Yeah. And Theo. Oh, do you want me to give it to him? And Charlie. Wow, can you give one for... I could give this one. Lucas? Has everybody noticed that Lucas is so gorgeous, but he's a little rascal?
Takes after his dad.
Okay, so if you go raise a glass to the groomsmen. Thank you. To the groomsmen. Awesome. Oh. Oh dear.
It's okay, it's not fragile or anything, don't worry.
So, toast number 4. We're almost there. Chill. One more after this. Now, the bridesmaids. So, ladies. Woo. Good looking ladies. Okay, so you're absolutely beautiful, but thank you for not upstaging my beautiful wife, who looks amazing today. And I'll keep reiterating that point because it might score me some points later. Daniella and I can agree that Francesca has put her heart, soul and tears into doing everything she can to make her beautiful sister have an amazing day. She's been a wonderful maid of honour and an amazing sister-in-law. Thank you for everything. Fran, my wife, couldn't have picked a better maid of honour. We love you very much and thank you for everything you've done. Daniella told me that her hen do was such a nice time. She had a good break from being mum and her needy fiancé. As loving and caring Daniella is to her family, she needed that well-deserved break. And a special thank you to Fran for allowing her to put her hair down. Thank you to the rest of the... Oh, should we give her a drink? Things down? Yeah. Sorry. Thank you to the rest of the bridesmaids for not tripping on your own dresses or standing on the bride's dress. Well done, Scarlett, for scattering a handful of petals and stopping. But we all know you were desperate to clear them up, just like Mum, after you'd done them. Okay, we'll give Scarlett a gift. Scarlett, we got a present for you. Present! Ah, now you want to come over here, don't you? So, Lily, our other daughter, is absolutely gorgeous, and we were holding our cool, signing the registers until we saw Lily started crying, and that just broke us, So, thank you, Lily, for everything you've done as a beautiful bridesmaid. Let's not forget Rosie, Alexa, Caitlin and Sophie, and a special thank you to Caitlin for being cool with reading her speech as I just messed up. So thank you, all you girls, if you want to come up. Okay, so thank you all for doing an amazing job, helping out and rushing around with makeup and hair, etc., etc. Thank you for being there for my bride and getting her ready and being the support she needed on her special day. Please, everybody, if you could just raise a glass to the bridesmaids. Thank you. Okay, now we could be here all day, thanking everybody who's helped with today or helped in our lives. But allow me to turn my attention to my beautiful wife and try and keep my cool as I burst into tears and become an emotional wreck. Daniella. I am clearly the emotional one out of the two of us, so maybe it would be easy if you just read this to yourself. I'll try my best not to cry too much when I express how lucky I am. When I saw you for the first time, I thought you were the most stunning and beautiful girl I'd ever seen. When we first met as friends, I found a connection with a stranger that was clearly meant to be more, but at that particular point in our lives, we were on separate paths. Fate clearly brought us back together, and 4 years, 2 months, exactly 1,220 days later, here we are. Okay. So, I want to thank you for making me a better man, a better father, and now a better husband. You remind me that we need Daniella and Marvin time, not just work, mummy and daddy time. I appreciate the little things when you say we should go to bed together, even though I want to play World of Warcraft or watch a film and you want to read your book or look on Instagram. It's those little things that make your time together special, and I've come to really appreciate those times. I wouldn't be this successful with my business or with my children if it wasn't for you. You give me the good kick up the backside and support I need. Thank you for supporting us at the start when times were a bit slow and I needed your monies. Thank you for teaching me to be calm and patient with our girls. As everyone knows, there's the brothers and my dad was quite harsh with us all, so my first reaction is to shout and go crazy, but Daniella's taught me to pick my battles, take a stand back and just chill the F out. I'll do a kids present. Okay, wait till 9. Okay, so I wish my dad could have seen you today. He would have loved your kind, gentle, and caring nature, and also your stubborn fire. Thank you for still marrying me, even though no one will be able to pronounce your last name for the first time. I snore like a bulldozer. I complain all the time. I leave the house a mess. I spend 3 hours in the toilet. I want to wash everything in one load and not separate darks and lights. And my crazy controlling nature. Thank you for being patient and understanding when it comes to my lack of fondness for the dog, which isn't here today, but I thought I'd put a special mention. So I'm not overly keen on the dog, but Daniella is, and because Daniella loves the dog, I will be out there in the rain when we've left the door open and it's run out after a cat, because I love you and the girls so much. We don't fall in love with the people we can live with. We fall in love with the people we cannot live without. Yep. Daniella, you are everything to me, and I cannot live without you. I wish us to grow old together and remember this day as the last jigsaw piece to our life's puzzle. I truly am very lucky, and I wish to spend the rest of our lives showing how grateful I am to be this lucky. Without me crying my eyes out, please can you raise a glass to my beautiful bride, and Daniella, thank you to the bride. I'm going to stop stuttering now and pass you over to my best man, James. The floor is yours.
So I guess firstly, just to say what an honour it is to be asked to be best man and even to be here speaking. It's an absolute pleasure, to be quite honest, to be Marvin's best man, to be asked to speak. I'm James, for those that don't know me. There's potentially a few that don't, and I'm Marvin's best friend for the moment. So we know that Marvin's a complete control freak, and he always knows best. It's his way or the highway, and he's going to tell you how to do everything, basically. So it's no surprise that when he asked me to be best man, it came with a load of instructions, essentially, including how to do the speech. So they're my notes. These were Marvin's notes, and it goes on forever, basically. But actually, for once in my life, I'm going to do it myself. I'm not going to listen to him. I'm taking a leaf from Daniella's book. Got to be strong with him. So I'm basically going to talk you through mine and Marvin's friendship, and then finish off. I'm trailing something here. Finish off on the lovely couple. But Marvin and I first met at school. It was in a French class, and I couldn't remember the name of the teacher. I'm told it was Miss Boubier. Boubier, is that how you pronounce it? Yeah. And so in the class there was a boy-girl seating policy. I don't know why, but I assume it was to stop people talking. But Marvin got moved, probably because he was talking to the girl he was sat next to. So he was moved and he had to sit next to me. So I was a bit annoyed actually at the time, because I quite fancied this girl I was sat next to. And they moved Marvin next to me. I was like, oh God, who's this idiot? Never spoken to him before, never seen him before. And actually within about 5 minutes I figured that we got on like a house on fire. So we were, from memory about the conversation, I remember my favourite band at the time was a band called TerrorVision from Bradford. And I was not only surprised that Marvin had heard of them, but he actually liked them as well. And we just totally hit it off from that moment, and I think that was the start of the friendship. So we began to spend a lot of time hanging around together, mainly on a lunchtime between classes and that sort of thing. Following Marvin's cool elder brother around, who was in the sixth form at the time. Yeah, believe it or not, he used to be cool. Most of you won't believe that. And then up to one point where Marvin asked me if I wanted to go around his house after school for some tea and to watch a film. So I was like, yeah, sounds good, let's go. So I don't know how many of you will remember, I'm tripping myself up on a rucksack down there, the living room at the time at Marvin's house, but it was floor to ceiling basically with VHS cassette tapes. Everyone had a number, and there's like a little catalogue book, and I think it was video library. We call it a video library. So yeah, Marvin couldn't believe I'm still to this day. There's so many films I've never seen, and Marvin couldn't believe it, and it was like, what you've not seen that? So from that moment on, he decided, right, that's it. That's my mission. I'm going to educate him on films, and we're going to watch this, that, and the other. So he's still doing it to this day. Not only was that my first visit to North Edge Meadow, but it was also the first time that I met Mahmood, Marvin's dad. So we went round for tea. Marvin made the tea. It was just us two in the house. I think Marvin must have rung Mahmood and asked him, will you give James a lift home? So I was told, right, my dad's going to give you a lift home. No problem whatsoever. So we were getting ready, we're putting our coats on, sort of in the landing, ready. I'm going to meet Mahmood, he's going to take me home, yeah. So I don't know how old we were, probably, no, we were younger than that, I think, maybe 13, 14. So anyway, I'm getting ready, right, Mahmood's going, I was really excited. And door opens, Mahmood comes in, I was like, hi Mahmood, nice to meet you. And Mahmood just walked straight past me, totally ignored me. We were talking about it the other day when we came round to look around the venue, and we were absolutely belly laughing with it because anyone that knew Mahmood, he's one of the most friendly and warmest people you'd ever meet. We spent many a happy evening watching films, eating pizza, laughing together. But that first meeting is pretty frosty, shall we say. Maybe he'd had a bad day at work. So we began then to think about sixth form, about going to uni, we're sort of growing up, and I think Marvin, maybe it's the idea of independence got to his head or something, I don't know, but he decided he was going to get a tattoo. So, and at the Mahmood was totally against tattoos at the time, so whatever he got, he was going to have to keep it a secret. He was pretty young. I don't know how old you have to be to get a tattoo, but he's probably younger than you had to be to get a tattoo. So he decided he's going to get a tattoo. So you might think that he'd go for something quite subtle, like something on his back or like a little love out on his bum or something like that. I don't know. But no, not Marvin. He decided to have a massive Chinese symbol tattoo on his forearm. That he proceeded to cover up with a really, really big sweatband. There's like a double-sized sweatband that he just wore all the time, which was hilarious at the time because he did zero exercise whatsoever. And he's like, oh yeah, it's my sweatband, sweatband. Now, he said it's I don't know what does it mean? Strength, family, and fortune. That's what he said anyway, but Matthew did a bit of a translation earlier on Google, and it said it means chicken curry, egg fried rice, and prawn toast, which I think was his favourite order at the time. Sorry, pages are stuck together. So we got through sixth form. We decided we were both going to go to uni. With Marvin studying human biology. And this is when Marvin really started to focus on his fitness, while showing a keen interest in physiology, human anatomy, sports massage, physiotherapy. Now, I always thought the massage bit was just a bit of an excuse to sort of fondle a few girls. But for those of you that obviously know him now, it's a massive passion of his. From anyone he speaks to his customers, he's absolutely fantastic at it, and then it's his real passion. I just saw it as an excuse, like I say. So throughout university, Marvin and I worked at Shipley Swimming Baths, so we were if anyone ever asked us, we were lifeguards, but really, to be honest, 90% of the time we were working in the cafe. Where Marvin adopted quite a unique style of serving lattes to the swimming mums. I think he'd taken inspiration from Tom Cruise in Cocktail. He's kind of spinning it around. I think that actually was VHS number 499, for those of you that were familiar with the video library. The surroundings weren't quite as glamorous as Cocktail. The closest we got, the inflatable, when they blew it up on a Sunday, I think there was a palm tree on it. Marcus might know better, but yeah, it wasn't Cocktail, that's for sure. But he tried his best, bless him. And he was using his endless charm, obviously, that we all know he has, trying to chat up the swimming mums. I think he was waiting out for a sort of Stifler's Mum type American Pie experience, which was VHS 782 on the video library, but that never came off, unfortunately. So in recent years, we've spent less time, I guess, than we would have liked together, mainly just because of work and family commitments and living not far apart, actually. We've no excuse, but we need to spend more time together. But we obviously, with Marvin working now, firstly as a PT, and now as a sports masseur. I'd put masseuse, I thought that was the word, but a colleague of mine told me it's masseur, that's the masculine. There you go. You learn something every day. And it's via this route that in the gym, that he met Daniella for the first time. So I remember the first time he told me about Daniella. We were driving somewhere in the car, can't quite remember where. He said, "Oh, I've met this girl, I really like her. But this one's different." He says, there's something about her, but she's playing hard to get. So I tried to think of a film reference for this bit, but I can't think of a film reference. Matthew suggested Top Gun. That was VHS 231. But it's more Maverick than Maverick. Eh? But So, in fact, after the first meeting and striking up a friendship, Marvin's been through this already, but they didn't see each other for a good while, until one day Daniella went back to Kent's, and he finally managed to convince her to go on a date with him after a while. So speaking to Marvin about Daniella, the early days, he said they were just everything worked, basically. They just got on so well. They just hit it off from the get-go. As we know how stubborn Marvin is, he needs a really strong character in a partner, someone who knows their own mind and will encourage him, and will knock him down a peg or two when needed, but will also encourage him when he needs that too, and I think he's found that in Daniella. Marvin's a fantastic father to both Lily and Scarlett, and when we've spoken about Daniella, the one thing he's always said is that Daniella makes him not just a better person, but a better father, and I think that speaks absolute volumes. So Daniella's clearly the one for Marvin, and wouldn't you agree, she looks absolutely fantastic. Incidentally, talking about being the one, when collecting material for Mr. and Mrs., we did for the stag do that we didn't actually use, but Daniella was asked, "How long was it," I read, "before you realised Marvin was the one?" To which she answered, "I'm still waiting for the one." So it's a pretty good job we didn't use that in the stag do. Or it'd have been good. It'd have still been here though, I'm sure. So yeah, the stag do, we went to Portugal. I'm not going to talk much about the stag do. You know, the unwritten code, what happens on stag, stays on stag. But let's say things got pretty wild. In fact, there was one occasion where Gary, sitting over there, he had a salad dressing on his salad that had more than 1% fat. I'm not going to go any further than that. It's all a secret. So Marvin will make a great husband if you can put with two things. His stubbornness and his snoring. I know he's already mentioned that already. And he's complaining. Yep. So I've got your little survival kit, Daniella. So on the stubbornness bit and the complaining bit, here we go. Oh, it's all tangled. I've got you a nice lifeguard whistle. So if he's ever talking too much, just give him a little pap. Prevention is better than the cure. Just give him a warning. Whoa. Whoa. And then for the snoring, the best I could do, unfortunately, I looked at all, I'd been trawling sort of websites looking for operations, I don't know, apparatus that you can fit to Marvin to stop him snoring, but the best I could do was this. So just stick those on and give him a good blow on the whistle. You won't even be able to hear the whistle, so your ears will be fine. Right, all the joking aside, Marvin and Daniella make a perfect couple, the perfect husband and wife. You're both absolutely lovely people, have done a fantastic job bringing up Lily and Scarlett, and I think your marriage today just completes that. So I wish you every happiness for the future. Please, everybody, join me in a toast to the bride and the groom. Cheers. You can stand up if you want as well. Make an effort, come on. Cheers. The bride and the groom.
Aren't you something to admire? Cause you shine as something like a mirror, and I can't help but notice you reflect in this heart of mine. If you ever feel alone and the glare makes me hard to find, just know that I'm always parallel on the other side.
Cause with your hand in my hand and a pocket full of soap,